Okay, this video is going to show you how to replace the factory horn in the Kia Forte, 2014 Kia Forte. Of course, the horn from the factory is very, very low at the best. This is the horn from the vehicle. The way you remove the horn: jack up the car, remove the right front wheel. With the right front wheel removed, you want to take out a number of Phillips screws for your inner fender. There's a couple on the bottom, but most of them will be on the inside of the fender. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you've got the mud flaps, take the mud flap off as well. So basically all you're doing is removing the screws for the inner fender. This will give you access to the horn. I now have it loosened, so we're going to pull back the inner fender just to get it out of the way. You don't have to fully remove it. Now, up in here you'll see the mount for the horn. Right here is your horn plus and minus cable. So what I'm going to do is cut off the factory connector and mount the horn in the inner fender here. This is right above the fog lamp. So the key is to get this mounted in here so it doesn't bang into the fender or cause any rattling, and of course is a long-lasting connection electrically. Alright, I'm going to come back to you when I have that step finished. These will be the horns we'll be installing. They're the Hella power horns, and they're quite loud. 12 volt, of course. Alright, I'll get back to you once I have the horns mounted and electrically connected inside the inner fender. Alright, we have the electrically trimmed the wires. I've snipped off the connector, factory connector to the horn. I'll save that. And I've prepared the two wires. Of course, black is ground and green is your positive. Alright, we'll come back when we get the next step finished. Okay, here is video of the completed job. The Hella horns are mounted in place. The top horn is mounted on the factory mount. The bottom horn, I had to put a bracket on it and fashion a place to mount it and leave enough room that it doesn't hit your inner fender when you bring it back in. Of course, test everything before buttoning it up. We'll try the horns once now. Hear how they sound over the stock horn. They're quite a bit louder. Again. Again. Okay. And all that remains, once the horns are in and tested, make sure your electrical is well protected. Obviously, the inner fender area is pretty wet area. I have everything taped up, solid connections, and everything's well covered with electrical tape. And all you have to do, put your inner fender back in place, put your tire back on, and button her up. You'll be all ready to go. And I'll look at it one more time once we're finished. All right, here's a picture with the inner fender all reattached. All the plastic screws are in place and the mud flap. Tire is mounted back on. And we'll go ahead and let the vehicle down off the jack stand, and I'll show you how the horn works once more. Okay, job is finished. There is your factory Kia horn, which I don't think you could scare a fly with that thing. Now replaced with the Hella super horns. And remember, they're back under your right front inner fender. Take it out, remove the wheel, take out the inner fender. You'll have access to the horns. Pull out the factory horn. Nothing else needs to be addressed. You don't have to pull out the grill or the fascia or anything else to do the horns. I beep the horn. Now you can hear how much louder this new Hella horn is over the factory horn. Again. Okay. So yep, it's worth the effort. I don't know if this is like other Fortes, but the 2014 Forte, right front inner fender, pull the wheel, pull the inner fender, access to your horn, pull out the factory one, and put in whatever horn you want to have in there. All right, enjoy your Kia.